Hello, everybody. It's Erin from Awakening Personal Power. So, we've been talking a lot about different money frequencies and what's underneath money itself, and what draws money to us, and what resolves challenges that we thought we might need money for, when really it's just us tuning into these energies and that allow that issue to be resolved or that challenge to be resolved without needing the money, and then you can use the money for something else. The other thing is, if you have an energetic need, like let's say you have the need for freedom, and you get the money, but you don't have a shift in your consciousness, the money will never be enough. So when I was working full time as a consultant, which was my previous job, I liked it, but it wasn't, the highest passion of what I wanted to do. So I always used to think that if I had enough money, I would be able to buy my freedom, basically. So I'd be able to quit my job and do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I thought that that was freedom. And freedom is one of these energies that is so closely connected to money for so many people. So I want to talk a little bit more about it today. So this idea that I would be free once I had the money. So the funny thing that happened is, I was working with passive income at that time, and I had gotten up to a certain amount, which I had said I would leave my job when I got to that amount. And instead of leaving my job, I just created another goal that was double that amount. And I said, when I get to this amount, then I'll leave my job. And that's what will be freedom for me. So the amount kept increasing over time because I had it that the money would come first and the freedom would come after. So you see the insanity with that, right? The funny thing is, the money had already come, but the freedom still hadn't come. I hadn't allowed myself or given myself the ability to have the freedom that was right there for me. The door was open. I couldn't walk through it. And that's an example of how, if you're not tuned into the energy of freedom, and that's the essence of the energy that you're seeking, and you get the money, it's not going to resolve the issue for you. So then what is freedom? What is the essence of freedom? So if I want to go take a walk and I want to go outside my house, I have to move my physical body down the stairs and out the door. But if I want to do that with my mind, I can simply take my mind outside. It's outside right now. I can see the whole scenery. So our mind can go anywhere we want it to go using our imagination. Or do this as kids, and we can be anywhere and have any experience in our mind, but we can also change our perspective to anything that we want it to be in our mind if we understand that we are completely limitless and we are totally free to do so, and we give ourselves permission to engage in thinking that way. We open up to the limitless, unbounded, expansive state of freedom that we can dwell in for as long as we like. And this state is available to us at any time. In my Zen training early on, this is the essence of the teaching, is that true freedom exists completely within our own consciousness. And there's a famous Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Nothing has changed in the external, but this person now is completely free in their consciousness and they're embodying bliss. So the essence of freedom is allowing ourselves to be unbounded and unlimited in our way of thinking, to adopt any perspectives. I'm sure you've had situations in your life where a situation that was an issue transformed because your perspective transformed, and all of a sudden it wasn't an issue anymore. Or a person that you didn't like, and then something shifted in your perspective and you're like, this person is really cool, I really like this person now. So, and that happens all the time to us, but a lot of times we don't notice the underlying mechanism is just simply a shift in our perspective. And so you can use that at any time. So that's one thing. Another thing is, when you think about what actions can you take from a place of this freedom. And it's really allowing yourself to follow your bliss and to follow your passion. So I ended up leaving my consulting job to work as a coach. And I had to actually give myself the freedom to do so. Because as I said, I was, going to continue to be working for that company and just continuing to raise the bar on how much passive income I needed arbitrarily. It wasn't like I had more expenses or enough to justify doubling that amount. So it was like an arbitrary thing that was happening just as a result of my consciousness. I hadn't truly found that essence of freedom within myself. And so allowing ourselves permission to act upon what we find exciting, to say yes to ourselves, to say no to things that we don't want to do. That's an act of freedom. But it starts within us. It starts within us saying yes to the perspectives that we want to have, saying yes to the idea that we are boundless and limitless and our imagination can go anywhere, and not allowing ourselves to buy into the illusion that changing the external circumstances is going to change the essences that we are focused on a daily basis within our own body. That's a habit that you would need to shift and would need to move to a different place in order to have different experiences externally. Otherwise, it's the same feelings that you're having, even though the situations externally have shifted and you've moved them around, you're still having the same experiences. Like Abraham says, different faces, different places, but the same energies. So I hope that was helpful. If you do want a copy of the document that talks about all the different money frequencies, different energies behind money, just drop a comment money below and I'll get that to you. See you guys next time.